As you know, Singapore property market is always moving. Things never really stay still. Prices keep moving up. And as a resident here, the big question is always, where is the next place that is going to prosper? We all know the usual hotspots like Orchard or Marina Bay, but let's be real. Those are already priced to the moon. If you're looking for value, you need to look at areas where people are still not much thinking about. I've gone through the latest trends and the URA master plan to give you a perspective on what are the top undervalued spots in Singapore. The first one is Jurong. So Jurong used to be the industrial place way out west, but the narrative is long gone. Today, it is our second central business district or CBD area. The beauty of Jurong is that the transformation is happening in stages. You have the Jurong Lake District, which is becoming a massive hub for business and recreation, and the Jurong Innovation District, bringing in high-tech jobs. When you have jobs, you have rental demand and capital appreciation. Even though prices have climbed, when you compare it with the actual CBD in Raffles Place, the entry price in Jurong still feels like a steal for the potential you're getting. The second hotspot would be Woodlands. So if Jurong is the king of the west, I would say Woodlands is the king of the north. For a very long time, Woodlands was just the place where you go to cross the causeway for cheap JB food and also shopping. But things are changing fast. The Woodlands Regional Center is set to become the largest economic hub in the north. But the real secret sauce here is actually the RTS link. Once that is up and running, traveling between Singapore and Johor Bahru will be as easy as taking a domestic MRT ride. At least that is in theory. This is going to bring a lot of business and cross-border lifestyle seekers to the area, making Woodlands a very strategic place to hold property for the long run. And then the third hotspot I would say would be Paya Lebar and Geylang area. So this area is a bit of hidden in plain sight gem. So Paya Lebar has already transformed into a vibrant commercial hub with the Paya Lebar quarter. But the real undervalued play here is the surrounding Geylang periphery. A lot of the old industrial and red light zones are being rezoned for residential and commercial use. Plus, with the future relocation of the Paya Lebar Air Base, a massive plot of land, which is bigger than Ang Mo Kio, will be freed up for redevelopment. When that starts, the entire District 14 is going to see a massive uplift. It is centrally located, has great food, and the gentrification is only just the beginning. And then the next hotspot I would say would be Bashore area. So Bashore is like the younger sibling of Marine Parade. While Marine Parade is already very established and expensive, Bashore is the blank canvas of the East Coast. The government is planning to build a whole new sustainable car-led residential precinct here. You get the sea view, the East Coast Park vibes, and most importantly, the new Thomson East Coast Line stations. Usually, when an MRT line opens, price already baked in, but because the actual residential blocks in Bashore are still being developed, there's a lot of first mover advantage to be had here. Next, I would say it's actually Sambawang with the shipyard transformation. I would say Sambawang is a dark horse here. Many people think Sambawang is just a quiet ulu corner of Singapore with some old colonial houses. But the Sambawang shipyard transformation, I think, will bring a lot of changes. This is a massive deal. So the shipyard operations are moving out to Tuas, and URA is planning to turn that entire waterfront area into a vibrant mixed-use waterfront district. Imagine something like a northern Keppel Bay, but with a more rustic maritime heritage vibe. We're talking about 10,000 new homes, seaside promenades, and turning old dry docks into recreational spaces. So imagine like a swimming pool or a plaza inside a historic ship dock. Sambawang North is also being developed with about 10,000 new homes in the pipeline. Because Sambawang is currently one of the most affordable areas in Singapore, this shipyard effect is going to be huge. You're buying into a quiet town that is about to get massive world-class waterfront facelift. So if you're looking for a Punggol-style growth story but with more heritage and better sea views, Sambawang is definitely the one to watch. And then the next undervalued estate, I would say, would be Tanga. So Tanga is currently like the new kid on the block in Singapore's property scene. It is basically still a massive construction site, which will turn into Forest Town of the West. If you have been following the news, you'll know that it's our first large-scale smart and sustainable town designed to be totally car-light with plenty of greenery woven right into the residential areas. So the big draw for Tanga is the first mover advantage. Because it is completely new estate being built from scratch, the entry price are generally lower compared to established mature estates such as Jurong or Bukit Batok, which is nearby. The government is pouring a lot of resources into the Jurong regional line, which run through Tanga, connecting residents to the Jurong Innovation District and the second CBD at Jurong Lake District. While it might feel a bit remote right now because the amenities are still being built, the long-term vision is what makes this an undervalued hotspot. If you're looking for a town with automated waste collection, centralized cooling systems, and dedicated walking and cycling paths, this would be it. For Singaporeans who miss out on the early days of Punggol, Tanga represents that same kind of growth potential where you buy in early and watch the infrastructure catch up over the next decade. So you might be wondering, why look at these spots now? Well, in Singapore, property is all about the master plan. We don't have to guess where the government is going to spend money because they actually tell us. The areas that I've mentioned are not just affordable, they are places where the government is actively injecting infrastructure, jobs, and also lifestyle amenities. Whether you are a young couple looking for your first home or an upgrader looking for a better nest egg, these spots offer a way to get into the market before the undervalued tag disappears forever. So we already talked about the undervalued estates in my opinion, right? How about the overvalued estates? So in my next video, I'm going to discuss what are the overvalued estates in Singapore in my perspective. And that video is exclusive for members only, so do join if you want to watch that content. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. To support my work, you can give a one-time tip by pressing the thanks button, pick the amount that you want, and click buy and send. Or you can also press the join button for exclusive contents and monthly membership. Your support means a lot to keep us independent. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.